We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
With Tekken 8, even though there's a lot of people who say they're really angry at the game, it seems like it has a steady flow of new players. Like it really does. It's not the most explosive. It's not a Marvel's Rivals. It's not a Fortnite. It's not a Among Us. But the flow is very, very consistent. And that consistency, it seems like what the developers is after. And even though they haven't sold 3 million copies soon, I think that, if season 2 can deliver, I think they will pick back up momentum like crazy. To all the balancing things, I don't know if those will go away. I don't know if Force 50/50s will go away. The only thing that I can see is how much you gain out of it. Instead of a 50/50 being a launcher, maybe the 50/50 just being like a hit that knocks you down for like a mix up or like something. Like I think they will have to change Tekken 8 in subtle ways. And this is something that I've always tried to highlight as well. And I don't know if I did that or not. But I do think that, there's a great game somewhere in there. Tekken 8 is not a completely flawed, riddled trash game. There's a good game in there. And that's what balancing is about, right? That's what a live service game is about, is trying to find it, right? And that's what Tekken has always done. Now, I don't agree with it, but they've always released their games and it got better over time. It starts off pretty rough. How rough differs from game to game, but it's kind of known that they get better over time. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it would just release in a good state. Like if you think about Marvel's Rivals, right? Marvel's Rivals didn't release in a, crazy state. Iron Fist and Tekken, that would be crazy. Magic, oh my god, I would main Magic so fast. I think Tekken 8 has a good future. After talking with a lot of these guys, it's reshaping my perspective, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to see the good of Tekken. Because that's the thing, like a lot of people think like, oh, you just want to hate the game. You just want to hate the game and you just want to be angry. But that's not really true, I like Tekken. I like when Tekken was hype. I want that again. And I feel like they're close. I feel like it's possible. These updates they've been doing has been pretty sweet. Even the Heihachi release was sweet. It was just that they charged people $5 that kind of spoiled the whole thing. With all of that stuff being gone in season 2, this game is going to be sweet. It's going to be amazing. It only can go up from here. The one issue that is standing in the way of that is defense. I don't think you should be able to just run out the clock. I don't think you should be able to sidestep everything. But I think you should be able to sidestep a lot. It is a 3D game after all. I do think you should be able to punish stuff. Moves should not have as much range as they do. Like, it was a Lil Majin. It was a Lil Majin video that we watched where he brought up great points about how the heat activation for like Jin and Brian Fury reaches further than most characters, King and Kazuya most notably. It's those kind of things that I would like for the developers to dress. And if they did that, this game could be really sweet. But that's the whole point of a live service game. And also, I like that the developers is so open to criticism. They are so open to criticism. They will hear the players complaining about something. Obnoxious Tekken players complaining, and they will say, let's add that to the game. You could talk about how they done it for Tekken 8 with the heat system, or not the heat system, I meant the main menu. They added the main menu, customization. For the more easier things to implement, they've done it. For Tekken 7, they've done it. And before we even talk about Tekken 7, let's stick on Tekken 8. Of course, everyone asks for Devil Jin to be buffed, but let's not forget that you guys were the ones who were asking for him to be nerfed. When Devil Jin first came out, all you seen all over Twitter was people talking about Devil Jin. And that's why they broke his legs. And the same thing with Azazina. They are still listening to our opinions. It's just that I think with season 1, they didn't want to balance the game because of tournaments. Now, that is kind of a weird thing because if they did want to balance the game regardless of tournaments, Yoshimitsu would probably already be balanced, Jin, etc., right? So, and that's the thing you have to talk about with season 2 as well, because they're probably going to break all those characters' legs. The whole top 10, get them out of here. But what about accidents? Accidents happen. They accidentally made Clive very powerful on release. I don't think it was an accident, but they accidentally did it. What if they accidentally made Paul Phoenix very powerful? I just use him as an example because I think it's going to happen. I think Paul Phoenix is going to be top 10. I just feel it in my bones. No reason, no justifications for feeling this way. I just feel it. I think I just have a general disdain for Paul Phoenix players. My fault, bro. You guys don't deserve the hate from the Moonsault Slayer, but I be hating. This is the nice hair. Nice hair having son of a gun. But I just feel like, what if they accidentally make a character powerful? Will they refuse to nerf that character because the tournaments is going on? They should do a halfway patch. Before or after Evo Vegas, break legs, crack skulls, clap cheeks, get out the baby oil. Okay. My fault. But someone said, it's not our fault they over nerfed Azazina. We'll see. Here's the thing. I was speaking with an Azazina main, right? That person was very good, by the way. Go to tournaments and whatnot, competes and whatnot, right? And bro was saying it's not that they nerfed, well, they did nerf Azazina, but they did that because people weren't playing the character the way that they want the character to be played. They were playing the character. They want you to go through all of her stances and back turn and whatnot. So yes, they did nerf her, but they buffed her abilities that goes into back turn, and because that's how they want you to play the game. And the players basically just rejected that. They rejected the way that the developers want you to play the character. And that's what the Azazina player said, you know? So, and I kind of agree with that, you know? I agree with characters, the developers having a vision for the character and them trying to achieve that. But the whole concept of over nerfing is something you have to talk about as well, because we all want the developers to nerf Dragunov, you know, Jin, Steve, Nina, Shahid, etc., etc., etc. But you have to also talk about over nerfing. We don't want these characters to be the Devil Jin of Season 2, where all of Season 2 you see Jin mains crying about, my character's unplayable and this and that. You know, it is a complex issue. It's not so simple, right? Nerfing a character, but not enough, or not too much, but also not enough. You know, some people are saying that that's Clive right now, where it's not, they didn't do enough. But the developers are very talented. They're very skilled. Don't forget, like a lot of people try to act like the developers aren't capable, but they made Tekken 3, Tekken 5. Some people say Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is great. They made that. Some people say Tekken 7 is great. Every Tekken they made. It's not a skill issue. Also, another biggest hurdle is the catering to casuals thing. That is a reason why they did a lot of these things, like the tracking, right? Tracking 8 and whatnot. They want the casuals to be more effective. And when you talk about pros saying, you know, stop making the stuff track that shouldn't track, it collides, right? When this move is not supposed to, on paper, no tracking, but then it tracks. When you did something like that because of the casuals, will you be willing to remove it? If not, that conversation will never stop. People will never stop calling Tekken 8 Tracking 8. So it's those kind of weird situations where, like, and that's the whole reason why I wanted to talk to like more I think the word casual is so misunderstood. You will have neckbeards calling people casuals. Meanwhile, they're a casual. You're a casual, calling other people casual. So I think casual is such a misused word. But I want to talk to casual players so I can see like what their experience is like. How do they feel about Heat? Because this is the thing too, right? People never consider this. Harada said we wanted to make the game better for young players and new players, and just generally players who don't know what they're doing. No one ever stops to think, I'm that guy. I'm that new player. I'm that young player. I'm that, you know, casual. But a lot of the guys are. I think that's pretty funny. Like Tekken Prowse matchmaking. Tekken Prowse matchmaking is so misunderstood. Tekken Prowse matchmaking is actually excellent. And I'll explain why. I play Yoshimitsu, and I am very, very skilled with Yoshimitsu. I sometimes play Dragunov. I could be wrong. But I just know when I switch to Dragunov, my Dragunov is Mighty Ruler, right? My Yoshimitsu's Tekken God. When I switch to my Mighty Ruler Dragunov, I am still playing Tekken God level players. I am still playing 300,000 prowess level players on their side picks, on their second picks. That's just my experience with prowess matchmaking, which makes me believe that people were misunderstanding it, but I could be wrong. I don't know the other side of it, which is why, once again, I want to talk to people and get their experience. But, of course, I only talk to a few people. That does not represent the whole player base. But the people I talked to, one, they had a very positive outlook on the game. They were very accepting of them making mistakes and wanted to overcome it, which I don't think a lot of people do. I want to talk to someone who, it's hard to get that type of player. That type of player who blames the game, who blames like Yoshimitsu, who blames Proud's matchmaking, who just, like, it's hard to get that type of player to talk to them. It's hard. But I would love to. I would love to find one of those guys who are just like, this whole game sucks, and I'm really good at like a low tier god. Like a low tier god. I'm trying to find like a casual low tier god and just get like a take, and not even to make fun of them, not even to make fun of them, not even to like crack jokes, but just to get the honest experience. Because, I think that my experience as like a high rank Yoshi player is not the average experience, as someone who like researches Tekken every day and uploads Tekken, I'm not the average player. And I do think like a lot of pro players and just content creators in general, we kind of lose touch with the average experience. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like in a box and like, only see it from one perspective. Yeah, I don't know. Tekken 8's a good game, but it just has like its flaws, and those flaws look even more glaring a year into the lifespan. And with season 2, a lot of people are putting faith in this game and they could bounce back hard, but it's really just on them. It's on them to do it, which I think they can, but it's just on them, it's on them. But yeah, I want to talk to a low tier guy.